All right. Thank you, Philip. Do you go by Phil or Philip? It is Philip. Okay.
Philip.
Right here is coming up. Thank you again for introducing me. So I have been in Rotary for 28 years. I am with the Rotary Club of Westlake Village Sunrise. I was president in the 1920 year. So I got to enjoy the normalcy of being a president up until March of 2020, of course, and had to learn all about Zoom and doing some of the things we're doing now. And one of the things that I really remember is that first Pledge of Allegiance. In fact, that first meeting, I asked everybody to stand, just giving that a try. And then when I realized that the camera was at everybody's belt buckle, that was probably not a good idea from that point on. But as I mentioned, Westlake Sunrise, this particular year, I am the public image director for the district and hoping to do things a little bit differently than has been done in the past and really try to get ourselves on the map. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, see if this all works well. Okay, so something may not work well here. I'm a little bit concerned that we're not going to get sound in on a video that I have because it's not letting me do that particular box, but we will try it and see. Okay, now, Philip, if you could unmute yourself and just first let me know, are you able to see my first slide here?
I am.
Okay, great. All right, so somehow we've, yeah.
What is a Rotary?
Okay, definitely something is not right here. All right. By the way, when that video started,
the sound though, we could hear the sound.
You were able to hear it. Okay, very good. All right, so this is a statistic that I came across a few years ago that indicated that, somewhere between 35–40% of non-Rotarians out there have just never really, they've heard of Rotary, but they're just not familiar with the programs and the things that Rotary does. And I remember reaching out to somebody at one time and just kind of testing that theory. Someone who was about, at the time, I think about 35 years old and a friend of my son's. And I had just said, I'm just kind of curious, that I've been in Rotary for a long time. Do you know what Rotary is? And he says, well, I'm a little embarrassed to say I should know, but I think it has something to do with signing documents. Now, that was the first time that I'd ever heard Rotary and notary getting mixed up in the same sentence. And I realized, okay, there's something here that I want to look into a little bit further. So we decided to put together a camera crew and go over to a very established event that another Rotary Club out of my area, the Thousand Oaks Rotary, had been doing for about 40 years, the chili cook-off. And they usually would bring in thousands of people. So we set up a whole interview process with a camera and we created a video of interviewing people and asking things like, do you know who puts on this chili cook-off? And do you know who Rotary is and what it is that Rotary does? So the video is a little bit too long to do tonight, but I put down a little bit of a 1-minute snippet of some of those answers. So again, the main question being, what is Rotary? And I'm going to go ahead and play this. I have found that for everybody's computer, it's a little bit different. So I apologize if it comes on way too loud. Just be kind of prepared to adjust your volume. So here we go.
What is a Rotary?
I really don't know the answer to that.
Yeah?
I know that they're,
what do they do?
It's a, I don't know. I got nothing.
What do you know about the Rotary?
I don't know much.
What is a Rotary Club?
Bunch of old guys that like to have fun.
What is a Rotary Club? Now, the Rotary Club is something that has to do with Maybe old people, maybe the military, maybe both. What do you know about the Rotary?
I don't know anything about the Rotary Club other than old people volunteer there.
Oh, transparency. There's a sense of which that it's a little bit like the Odd Fellows or the Masonic lodges, meaning secret rituals and things like that.
Right? You guys know
Don't they have the tri-tip?
Of course they have tri-tip. Everybody loves tri-tip.
that's the
Oh, that's the
It's not part of Rotary, but it's
There may be members in common. I would say there's
similar mindsets, though. I will say that, right?
Okay, so you can see that we had a wide diversity of answers here, ranging from a bunch of old guys having fun to aren't you the guys that sell the tri-tip sandwiches? So we got a tremendous amount of answers from this, and it is interesting to be able to listen to the entire thing and hear what's going on out there. I think only one person got somewhat close to guessing what Rotary was all about. So this kind of brings us to a really good reason why we're even doing a branding campaign. So why is branding and public image important? Well, we can see part of the reason why that is. But I have always felt like one of the best ways to grow membership is to really work on that branding, get that word out. You know, Rotary, we do a lot of cool things. We do a lot of great projects. And we work hard and we don't really tell people what it is that we do, because we feel like, you know, this is why we're here. We're here just to make a difference and help any way we can. But what's happening is that it really is changing things when we can't let people know what we do. They're not reaching out to us. And membership has been really going down for the last 10 to 20 years in the United States. So we've got to find ways to really get that message out so that when we do invite somebody to be a guest and to learn more, they hopefully will already have an idea of what Rotary is all about. So I want you guys to take a look at these logos here, and especially the McDonald's and the Target and the Nike logos, because they don't have the name of the companies in their brand, but you do know who they are just by looking at it. But you not only know who they are, you know what they do. And if you walk into a McDonald's anywhere in the country, you know what you got. You walk in there, you know what it's going to look like, and you know what the food is. And that's kind of the case with most of these major corporations. They've done a lot of branding and marketing for a long time, and that's what you have, is people know what you are. So you look at the Rotary logo at the lower right. So most people I have found do recognize that logo. They will say, I've heard of Rotary, but that's where it stops. And we've heard some of the responses that we got to our questions. Okay, so how do we get to that point where we're like those other major corporations? I mean, Rotary is huge, right? It's the largest all-volunteer service organization in the world. And all of these things that you see here are what corporations do on a regular basis, and they do it in an ongoing, consistent manner. And that's pretty tough for us to do as individual clubs. So Rotary.org has some way to help us here a little bit. And I'm going to address something that Lisa had asked early on before we got started about the Rotary logo and the branding and what's compliant and what isn't. This was one of those things that I personally found as a frustration, because we thought it was finally settled a few years ago. And a lot of the clubs were changing their logos based on what we were told to do. And that's basically by taking that Rotary logo, the normal international logo, and a nice little vertical line off to the right. And then just to the right of that, you would put the name of your club. And a lot of people made those changes to their club, to their websites. And then Rotary came back and said, nope, that's not the way we're going to do it now. And so in the last couple of years, they've been really trying to work at getting us brand compliant. And it's just, people are throwing their hands up and saying, okay, I don't know what's right and I don't know what's wrong. So what they did in this brand center is, when you go there, and by the way, you log into Rotary.org, you click on Member Center, and then you'll find Brand Center. And then when you scroll down there, you will see these different choices here. So the upper right one that says logos, The way that they've set it up now is when you click on this, there is something called a logo creator. And this way you don't have to go get a graphic designer to match everything and make it perfect. So you've got a logo creator and you just plug in your information and it just takes 2 or 3 minutes to get it done. And your logo is all set in high resolution format and you can put it on your website and use it for everything you do.
Hey,
So that's
excuse
kind
me,
of-
Randy, I'm sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt. Your screen is like not quite right.
What are you guys seeing right now?
Well, kind of part of the welcome to the brand center and then it looks like part of the next screen. Maybe you can just refresh or something.
Okay, I am not seeing
There,
this.
that now it's working. Now we got it.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, I just had to move my mouse. Okay.
Okay.
So you guys are seeing the 6 boxes here?
Yeah, now it's right.
Okay, great. Sorry about that. Yeah, yell out every time that happens so I can fix that. So that at least gets you to the point where you have your logo. And when you look at the things that are at the bottom row there, the materials and there's photos, videos, and ads, they do have a lot of very well designed professional looks that are brand compliant, that are templates and you can use for anything that you guys want to do when you're creating materials, whether it's a brochure, flyer, or anything along those lines. They've got a lot of things for different campaigns and it's there for you to use and you can plug in your own club's information. What I've been told and what I have found to be very much the case for me over time is that navigating this website in particular is tough for a lot of people. So I do want to make myself available for you to reach out to me when you do want to use this and use some of these materials, and I will help you walk through it. Okay, I'm going to try this a little differently here. Okay, do you see a new slide?
Yes, it's fine.
Okay, great. All right, so I wanted to show you this as an example of what we're doing. Not only do we have the branding, but we are looking at doing an awareness campaign that we're taking into geographic areas such as, in this case, it was Ventura County. So this is the county where my club is, and this is where I'm the most familiar. So we started the awareness campaign right here. So it covers 4 different groups. And it has 21 Rotary clubs. And these are some interesting statistics. And by the way, all of these exist from all the information that our clubs plug in each year on the projects we do on the Rotary International site. So we had 21 Rotary clubs, over 4,000 volunteers, 39,000 volunteer hours, and $1.3 million donated all in 1 year from those clubs in the county of Ventura. That really says a lot. And you guys will find that when you pull all your information together, you're going to have some really similar statistics that are great to talk about. So it's not just all about each individual club, it's about all the clubs working together and separately, but being able to accomplish things like this. So it's a pretty strong message to be able to tell people, hey, this is what Rotary is all about. And we want to be able to get that message out. So in the campaign, what we did in Ventura County and want to take to your area next is we started with a magazine that really was a spotlight of all the individual clubs and a lot of information about Rotary in general, talking about RILA and the areas of focus, and specifically, again, the different clubs and the avenues of service. And we then added TV commercials. So out our way, we worked with Spectrum Cable and we focused on 8 different cable networks. And we're running currently 3,500 TV commercials spanned over 3 months. That is just kind of giving a brief message about what Rotary is all about. Now, the TV commercials are 30 seconds. In addition to that, we're working on doing a landing page on the district website you get to from going to joinrotarynow.org, and that will also do the spotlight of all the clubs. And then the last thing is, and this is kind of for social media or just email campaigns, or just when you're meeting somebody and you want to tell them about Rotary and give them just a real quick video of what all of your clubs in your area are doing. In this case, it would probably be the 3 Santa Maria clubs. And it would just talk in 3 minutes. It would just show visuals of the different projects that are going on. So those are the things that are involved in the campaign. Again, we're going to be looking to come to the Santa Barbara County and then into San Luis Obispo County. But we want to try to work with the clubs individually to gather this information. Now, what I'd like to do next is show you what the 30-second spot looked like for the West Ventura County area. We actually have 4 different versions of these television commercials based on the geography. So I'm going to go ahead and run this first one right now.
You know us. We love giving back through COVID relief, protecting the environment, helping children, and supporting charities. We are members of Rotary clubs here in West Ventura County, and we want to grow our Rotary family. Join us. Domino's is determined to be a good neighbor in the communities we are proud to serve by supporting organizations focused on social justice and feeding people in their time of need. And of course, we're all about the pizza. Visit us at Domino's.com.
So what I wanted to show here is a couple of things. Unfortunately, the district doesn't have funding to do awareness campaigns. And so what we did in Ventura County is we found sponsors and we're able to fund the entire campaign that I described to you, printing the magazines, doing these TV spots, the videos, and working on the website and things like that. And the way that we wanted to do it is not just your typical sponsorship, where the only thing you're really telling the sponsor is you're helping Rotary, which is an important element. But we felt like it was better, easier to get sponsors when we could actually give them a tremendous amount of coverage. So as you can see in this commercial, we kind of really put a spotlight, and every one of our sponsors is the same way. We bring them, we open up the first half of the commercial about Rotary and join us and learn about it. And then we close it off with the sponsor saying this sponsor wants to be a part of the community, wants to support Rotary. And that's how we did it. We had 20 sponsors in Ventura County, and we did a spotlight on them in each case. So then next up, what I want to do is show you the video, the 3-minute video I was referring to. And it is also, this particular example is for the West Ventura County. So specifically, it's the 3 Rotary clubs in the city of Ventura. So I'm going to run that next.
Randy, real quick, let me ask, what, I understand the 30-second commercials are like TV. What is the media that this one's played on?
So that's the one that I mentioned is more for social media. That's for all of us individual members to use. There's going to be YouTube links. There already are for these. So when we create the new ones for you guys, it's there to be able to put on your website, to be able to email to someone interested in Rotary, or again, to put into social media, just so that it can get out there and more and more people can see it. And you can see at the very end of that same idea, we did a real spotlight on all the sponsors. We want them to really feel like, they're getting some good coverage on everything that we're doing. And what we're looking to do is, in the case of coming to your area next, you guys all know Santa Maria. You live and work there, and you know Santa Maria, and I don't. So it'll help me to be able to put together the content and the photos, certainly from your club. And generally, I will have 2 to 3 different liaisons per club that can work with me to gather content. And also, the companies in town that are supportive of Rotary, or maybe they do a lot of advertising normally, or sponsorships. And I can do the legwork on those things, but you can help direct me, or the liaisons can help direct me. So that's kind of what we're looking to do, and just finding as many ways as we can to continue to get the word out and more concentrated in your area. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right, you may unmute everyone. Well, everyone, you may unmute, especially if you have a question for Randy. No questions? I have a question, because I have some information that you guys don't. You were looking for some money for the spots, right?
Well, you're talking about the sponsorships?
No, I thought there was the clubs were all going to contribute something to help finance the production of the video or the videos.
No, it's more of a situation where each group kind of decides how they can get involved. Some of the clubs weren't able to really find anybody that they could introduce us for sponsorships, so they would write out a check for $500. It's almost better if you guys, I hate to have you guys use your money for this. I mean, if there's a way that you can lead me to sponsorships,
okay,
that works so much better.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't clear. I thought the clubs were contributing. So you're looking actually for sponsorships. I really like that Domino's spot. I thought that if you're a business, that would be a good way to help promote your product. Tying yourself with the Rotary and those happy, shiny faces,
Yeah, and again, all of our commercial spots were the same way. We really put a huge spotlight on that sponsor, so that, I think that what we're really looking to say is, you're not really just a sponsor of this campaign, you're our Rotary partners.
Yeah.
You're a part of our community, and the more you help us with this campaign, the more we can grow the philanthropic base in the community, and everybody wins.
Yeah, I can see it's, and how much are these, how much is a sponsorship for a business? I mean, I can see some small businesses maybe trying to get, a competitive edge, or their name out there in a less traditional way. Is this a cost-effective way for them to do, I'm thinking like a food truck or something like that?
Yeah, so the sponsorships have a huge range. They're on the higher end, where we had a $3,500 sponsorship, was something that gave you the back cover on the magazine, and it gave you 300 TV spots and prominent positioning on the video and things like that. The smaller sponsorships were right around the $575, $595 mark. where it would give you 50 TV commercials, and you would have a tribute ad inside the magazine, and you would still be listed on the website and on the videos and things like that. So that's the variation. It's like right around from $5.95 up to about $3,500.
Okay, well, that seems pretty competitive. It just seemed like that was a kind of a neat way to get the word out in an interesting way. That was the first thought I had. Anyone else? Because we're going to be oh yeah, good, Lisa. Go ahead and
I have a
ask.
question. Randy, how is this magazine distributed and where?
So the magazine was distributed, the way that it was distributed in Ventura County may not be the same way that you guys do it. And that's another way that I need to work with all of you, because you know the community. But out in our area, we've got a couple of different ways. First of all of the clubs, each club, really they can almost say how many magazines they want, but a lot of them are taking a couple of boxes, which is a couple hundred magazines, because they're good for the year, and you can hand them out anytime someone's interested in learning about Rotary. But also if you do any fundraisers or events out there, it's another great place to be able to hand them out. This way, we were able to get distribution in Vons and Albertson stores. And then also we were able to find individual small businesses that allowed us to just kind of put it on their counter space and things like that. So that's how it worked out here. I would need to work with all of you and the other clubs to help me know what the best approach is in your community.
And how long has that program been going on so far in Ventura County?
Ventura County just started.
Okay.
We got it published about, I want to say maybe a couple of months ago, the magazine was published. The TV spots just got started a couple of weeks ago, and they'll go right to the end of the year.
Okay, thank you.
Randy, the ads are really nice, but is there any way that they could be adjusted for local use, put in pictures, put in local scenes, put in some other things that weren't included in the ads that you showed us?
So the ad that I showed you, you mean the first one, the 30-second TV spot?
Yes.
So the way that it's set up, we were able to get 4 photos in there. And those 4 photos were specific to that area. So they were projects that the 3 Ventura clubs were working on. So it was specific to their projects. So by coming into Santa Maria, that's why we'll work with you to get the content, but it would be a shared thing. So we would have stuff in there about your club that your club does, but also the other, well, I don't know if Napomo would be a part of this or not. They're a part of your group, but they're in an interesting situation when they're in a different county. We'd really have to see how they would feel about being in the same group of commercials. But whoever is working together on this, we keep it very geographically concentrated with the content and that. And so the same thing was happening with the 3-minute video that you saw. There were way more photos being shown there and events that were described. But again, it was focused on those 3 Ventura clubs.
I'm glad you mentioned Napomo. That was going to be my question next. They're part of our group, but they're a different county, so it seems awkward.
And we were going to ask.
But there's, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, Randy, but there is, there is some historical connections between Napomo and Santa Maria. They used to not have a shopping, like a grocery store there, and they used to have to come shop here in Santa Maria to get groceries. So maybe it wouldn't be too weird, Lisa. That's what I was suggesting.
Well, I guess by awkward or weird, what I meant is, we're kind of talking Santa Barbara County, and like Randy was saying, would they want to spend any money for something in Santa Barbara County? I mean, they'd have different sponsors probably, and I don't know. Anyway, it'd be interesting to see how that works out.
Oh, I didn't necessarily mean that we had to identify the county so much as.
Okay.
Maybe correct me if I'm wrong, Randy. I understood you were saying, Santa Barbara County or the area, but I didn't think we had to mention we're the Napomo or the Rotary Clubs of Santa Barbara County.
Right. No, not at all. So Ventura County worked really well. in terms of just the whole media structure, it worked well to be able to do things, to do the same campaign in Ventura County. But I can see where there's other areas where that just won't work. And that's why I'll really look to all of you Rotarians out there to help guide me on the best way to reach the media. And in going to someone, like the Napomo Club, and they're aware of the campaign. I was with Dana when she did her visit with them. And I don't know how, I do understand that there is a connection that they have with Santa Maria, and they may feel like that is a good fit to be a part of that campaign. San Luis Obispo is pretty widespread. I don't know if they'd want to be a part of that campaign, but that's something that we can certainly approach them on and see what their thoughts are.
Yeah, my thought is it doesn't matter what county they decide to participate in, but I think they should, because they do some pretty good stuff, as all the clubs do. And you said it early. We're so committed as Rotarians to the idea of service as just who we are, that we're not interested in tooting our own horns about it, but we're not doing ourselves any favors by not sharing that, in a positive light for people to attract like-minded people, if nothing else.
The other thing is tomorrow night, I'm going to be addressing the group, I think it's group 9, the Solvang Santa Ynez clubs. And it does help if they want to be on board and all of you guys are on board. That could be enough of a combination to at least help to put together the magazine, because the costs are so much easier when we can just do more pages and more quantity, and then have everyone in the same coverage there. That's what we did with Ventura County. The magazine is got all 20 clubs covered. But again, the TV spots and the videos, those are all very specific to the geography. So it kind of, I think it works well for everyone if we can do that. So we'll see how that works out.
How much is it if you have 20 clubs? How much is it per club for the magazine contribution?
For Ventura County, we did a lot of stuff and we raised $40,000 to do it. And again, that got us 3,500 TV commercials. That got us 20,000 magazines, in addition to 6 different variations of the video. So all production, all creative, all of the spots that got us to $40,000. So if we, let's say in your area and in, let's say group 9, let's say we raise half that, we're still going to be able to do a lot of things. Okay. So I think that's really what we're trying to achieve.
Is Lompoc in group 9?
Yeah, I think they are.
They'd be a good connection to us. There's a lot of people that are in Lompoc Rotary that have strong connections to Santa Maria.
Oh, okay. Yeah, some of the groups, it's interesting how they all work out. And in Ventura County, it was perfect. I'm in group 4, and those are all the clubs in the Conejo Valley. And group 5 are Simi Valley Moore Park. There's just some of the groups work really well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't speak for the entire club, but I certainly think this is a worthwhile effort, and we will definitely want to participate however we can. Does anyone else have any questions for Randy before I ask him to wrap it up?
I have a question.
Yes.
I don't know that I saw the new branded logo anywhere, or if I did, it wasn't pointed out as being the new logo.
So the new branded logo, you talking about for your club?
No, just the Rotary International.
Well, Rotary International, the correct compliant logo is the one that's in the background of Phillips up there, just the name Rotary with the wheel to the right.
Okay.
And so when you, and I apologize, I didn't have a chance to create one for you guys, and I don't know if you guys, what you're using right now. I didn't see it on your website. But essentially what it is you would have the Rotary logo as it looks right now, but below the word Rotary is where your club name would go. And honestly, I am so disappointed at at that decision because it just really messes up a design and it's just so out of balance, but they are absolutely sticking to this. And again, when you go on the brand center and you do the logo creator, it does it for you, and you want that because it gives you the right size of the font and places it right where it needs to be.
And I will share with the club something we talked about, Randy, because they're all questioning right now. It's like, what do I do with my old Rotary hat and coat with the old Rotary logos on it? Do I have to burn it and buy new stuff?
No, everything that you have, keep on using until they've worn out.
Yeah,
so what Rotary is saying is, as soon as you need to get new stuff and new materials and new hats and new banners, then you just want to make sure it's compliant. And Russell Hampton and some of those different places, they had to come along too, and they had to get on the program and make sure that they were brand compliant, because here they are creating these materials and things that you order, and they weren't doing it right either, but now they are. So it'll be a lot easier for the future.
So that's a relief, but we'll wait. Oh, and then you told me we had, you mentioned our website isn't compliant, and I know that, but you told me I have until December 31st to get it into compliance. So I was holding you to that.
Actually, you know what? The reality is that you have until June 30th of 22.
Oh, even better. Just give me more time and I won't use it.
Well, they're hoping everybody will be. And by the way, if you guys have trouble again navigating that site, just reach out to me and I will help you out with that.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Randy. We appreciate it. At least I do very much, because I think this is something we need to take care of this year and get this handled, update our website and Facebook page, and then get some more clothes that have the right logo, and then start getting the message out there. And I'm looking forward to this PI campaign.
Public image, yeah.
Yeah, public image, PR campaign.
Yeah.
So anyway, anyone else? One last go before I say goodbye to Randy.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you. All right, Randy, thank you very much. And you have a good night, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you, everyone. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye, thank you.
I'm stopping the recording so we can conduct business